Hello, Rachel Julie Adams here, and I want to explore a topic with you today that is all about psychic readings that you might get from someone else versus tuning in to your own intuition. And I recently had a really profound experience of this that I'd like to tell you about. But before we begin, if you are not familiar with me, I help guide mostly midlife women to truly know who you are, to know what it is you're here for, what feels truly soul aligned for you. And I use intuition, one of our most powerful tools, human design, mindset, and meditation to do that. So let me share my story with you. And this happened very recently. We noticed our dog was limping. Our beautiful dog, Athena, she's a husky mix, a very chatty soul, and really the heart of our home. When I say we, that's my son and I. He's 31, and thank you, COVID. He moved back in with me, but it's all good. And we both love Athena so much that she gets to have both of us here with her. So she was limping, and a vet that we'd been going to said, it's arthritis, maybe an ACL injury when it got to the point where she was not able to put weight on her leg. And then I knew we needed to go to a different vet. So we did that. I got a really good recommendation, went to another vet. My son was able to come with Athena and I. And at that visit, we discovered there was something really not good going on with the femur in her hind leg. And it was a bit of a shock. And one thing led to another. We ended up going to an animal hospital, and the recommendation was to amputate the leg, that it was probably strongly looked like it was cancer in the bone. And they gave us all the data. They were not pushy at all. They were really nice. The surgeon was so lovely. She'd had a German Shepherd that had recently passed, and it really connected with us. But we had to think about it. And I don't normally do psychic readings with people because, I do intuition myself and I have lots of tools. But this was a little bit different. I just wanted to connect with Athena on a different level. And so I did get a reading from an animal communicator. And I gave her all the details, and then I kind of forgot about it. And my son and I both felt it was the right thing to do to go ahead with the surgery. And they like to put it in motion fairly quickly. And so there wasn't a lot of time. And, so we did it. And we took Athena, dropped her off for the surgery, and then I got the animal communication reading come through on WhatsApp. I started to listen to it, and it was, I have to say, it was a pretty traumatic experience because the lady was lovely who was doing the reading. I'm not criticizing her at all, but she was saying, Athena doesn't want you to touch the leg. She knows what's going on. She doesn't want you to touch the leg. Basically, that's what it was. So I just really felt challenged by that because we dropped it off. What could I do? And it bothered me for quite a while because obviously I love our beautiful Athena so much, but it truly felt right for both my son and I to move forward with the surgery. And had to sit with that. And what I came to understand, and this is the whole point, I'm sorry it's taken a little while to get there. What I came to understand is that readings people do for other people, and, with my community, we often will do intuitive readings on each other, but it always goes through a filter of that person. That's one thing. And they're not always accurate. Anyway, that's one thing. And also, probably she was accurate. Athena did not want the leg to be touched, but what I realized was Athena doesn't want to go to the vet ever, but we do it because it's good for her. And she's okay with it afterwards. She's a husky, and she's a mix, but she has all the independent characteristics of a husky, and she talks. Will trying to go to the vet, like she doesn't want to go in. She knows what's going on. She does not want to go in. Going to the groomers to have a bath and everything. She one time it took 3 of us to get her in the door. She does not want to, and that was the energy this lady was picking up on. And I'm sure that was true. Athena did not want to go through a surgery, but we did it because my son and I felt this was true. This was the right. It was just with every part of our being, we felt it was the right thing. So we were tuning in to our intuition, into our hearts, that we want the very best for her. And given all the data and tuning in, the right thing was to do the surgery. So it's now a few weeks after the surgery. Athena's doing amazing. She's walking around fantastic on 3 legs, and she actually looks happy because she must have had so much pain with that leg with bone cancer all through her femur. Must have been so painful. She hardly showed it, and that's just one of the traits of these kinds of dogs. But we did the right thing. If we had outsourced our power to that reading and not taken her for the surgery and not had the leg amputated, even though that was really hard to make that decision, she wouldn't have, well, first of all, she'd be in so much pain. She'd be on painkillers and all of that. And she wouldn't have the opportunity to have more life. So we did the right thing by listening to our intuition. So the real point I'm trying to express here is your higher guidance knows when you tune in and really listen, you are the central power in your life. You get to make the decisions. And so many times we're influenced by what other people tell us we should do. That should word is my least favorite. Well, that's debatable, but I really don't like that word. So many people telling us, and even society and cultural norms, what we should do. We are not here to live other people's lives. We're here to tune in to who we truly are and the life individually we came here to live, and what lights us up and what we feel is really correct for us. It might not be for other people. It might not be the opinions of other people. But tuning into what we know is true is so important. So I would like, if you would, for you to comment if you've ever had an experience of trusting your intuition, even in the face of what other people are telling you you should do or could do, or other opinions, of really owning your own power. And also, if you've had an experience of not trusting your intuition, not owning your own power, and what happened then, please share. It would be really helpful to all of us. I had an experience of not listening to my intuition. I talked about that in a video. I'll put a link below. And that's really what was the catalyst to this path that I've been on for the many years since then, of truly knowing myself, knowing when I feel something is true for me, and being able to follow that knowing. Anyway, lots of room for more discussion there. I'd love to have a discussion about that in the comments. And if you would like to tune into your intuition, I have some resources for you. So check the description, and I'll see you soon. Thanks for being here.